10 seconds.
Here with my friends.
Hi, I'm Venus SX in my old avatar, my alternative avatar.
It's a questy today. Hi.
Today, as Breakfast Lily is with us today.
I'm afraid so. So prepare for chaos because I had breakfast.
Chaos, that's what we want. Yeah.
Be careful what you wish for.
I mean, I think we're all dressed for chaos already. I'm excited to be here with you all today, primarily because we have a big announcement for our viewers. For those of you who've been watching us for a while, we are rebranding ourselves to capture the fullest spirit of the show. So we are no longer three girls and a mic. We are now Hotties in VR, because we want to capture the fullest expansiveness of all of the creatures and beings that join us that may have different kinds of genders, identities, everything. So, Hotties in VR, we're welcoming guests on the show to talk about whatever you want to talk about. We lean towards more sexy topics, but we're also open to anything related to just like being your fullest expansive self. And actually, I was thinking about this when I was thinking about the name, that I used to really hate when someone would use the word hot. Like they would say, "Oh, that girl is so hot," and I'd be like, "What does that even fucking mean? Like, who decided what that word means?" But I think for me, I would say hotties as like people who are really feeling themselves. I find the most hot. Even in Avatar, like when someone's like, "Yeah, this is who I am. I'm like fully myself." Like that's really hot to me. How would you guys define hot?
I agree.
Exactly. Definitely, you can be a very hot person as a personality. Like your personality can be spicy, you know. So yeah, hottie refers to all kinds of things for sure.
I think for me, it's a lot about confidence that the person holds. So it's not so much how they look, or it's the confidence that they hold in themselves. There's something super about that. It's just that I know that I'm taking up this space in the world, and and I'm holding that ground, and I'm expressing myself. That's
a good point, because when somebody's been very, very successful and they killing it, it's just like, oh, you are on fire, meaning like you're like amazing, you're doing so good.
Right.
If you're on fire, it means you're a hottie.
And there's something magnetic about a hot person. Like there's magnetism. That's what I like. Yeah. So I'm okay with being called hot, I guess. So you're saying that you came around to go get going. I'll define it how I want.
I'm feeling it now. Yeah. Yeah, we could reframe it away from like socially constructed views of what like being supposed to be like, and there's no definite universal definition of hot. Instead, it's like journey to being your fullest self, and like people that like themselves. I think especially when in the avatar world, like when you find an avatar that you're really feeling, like I like feel like myself in this avatar more than like most of my real life times. Like I can like shake my titties and I feel like these are like my titties, and I'm like, oh, I feel so like beautiful, and like I want to just like snuggle with myself.
Have you played with the capabilities of your body yet? Like I don't know, your androgynous form more, or finding your best?
I have a little bit, but I can't use the because I'm a questie, so it's a little bit hard because I can't do some of the more fun features with my body yet. But like someday,
right? Okay, someday.
Yes.
I have in the future.
But I do I'll change my like hip size or chest size. Sometimes I can add a bulge avatar, which is really cool because I like wearing strap-ons sometimes, so I can put a strap-on on, and I can be like a little like pretend I have more to play with. It's fun.
Does it actually have
morphing into something else? Yeah.
As an accessory.
I'm trying to remember if this. I don't know if this avatar does or if another one I got. But yeah, I do like wearing the strap-ons occasionally. It's a fun kind of like I like it in real life. Actually, the first time I ever wore a dick in real life, for a strap-on, I was like, I'm so powerful.
Fuck yeah, it feels
don't
good.
give them any ideas.
It's a different feeling, right? It's like
it's so
give the wrong
powerful. And this
idea.
thing, it's like I have this penetrator.
Yeah.
I am a penetrator. You know, it's like in a female body, you just don't
think
have
it's
that,
because-
experience naturally.
That's
Totally.
because in a female body we're more subtle. You know, there's a lot going on, and you can actually
And we
make
do
a human.
penetrate.
Okay,
we
but it's all
penetrate
very hidden,
psychologically.
and we got it all as a secret. We got it as a secret, and you know the guy's equipment. I don't like to say the word, but okay, the guy's equipment is like out there, like look at me, just like a guys are. You know, like I'm powerful and I can do everything. You know, that's what it's like. So it's nice sometimes to embrace that sort of feeling. But us girls, we're more subtle. We know our power. We've got a superpower, but we're not gonna tell anybody. We're Superman. Keep it.
I'm not very subtle very often, but I like that.
No, but what I mean is that. What I mean is that the female physiognomy is a secret. You know, you can't see it.
Yeah.
By just looking at us, you can't see that we can do these things.
And
it's all internal. There's a hidden secret that comes out when it's necessary.
So much is happening. You're right. Like internally, so much is happening. Especially if we just look at the arousal system that we don't see. Like, and only the tiniest percentage we're actually seeing on the outside of the body. It's incredible when you look at the orchestra that the female anatomy is. Like, wow, it's just like
and it's bigger than a guy's anatomy.
You know, there's the strings,
like
and then there's the drums,
orchestra.
and if you get them all playing together, the orchestra, then you've got like a on fire.
Exactly.
Pussy, right?
Or like an
everything
iceberg. You only
singing.
see the tip of the iceberg. You don't see the whole thing.
Yeah,
But it's just too bad that
that's
it's too
not
bad
easy
that-
to get the.
Totally, it's too bad a lot of men don't know how to conduct the orchestra, because like it's really amazing when men have the skills to conduct, and women too. But like and more often I run into men who are like, "What do I do with this thing?" It's like this hidden mystery inside that they like the deep depths of the ocean.
They're basically
There's like some anglerfish over here that's just like.
Yeah, they need lessons sometimes. You know, a little bit of musical lessons.
So I think it's super important that the person with the vagina and the vulva and the pussy knows their own anatomy as well, and that's part of the problem. Is that we haven't been taught that stuff has been taken out of textbooks and been squashed and not actually taught, and not even in the medical field have looked at like super thoroughly. And so I think the people with bodies themselves with that anatomy need to learn the orchestra as well, like play enough to go, okay, well, what do I need to get my what are those guys called? The vestibular bulbs. You know, what I've got to do to get my vestibular bulbs all juicy and pumped up. And people are like, well, what are they? Where are they?
I don't know what that means.
Yeah, exactly. The vestibular bulbs are huge. They're all important. All of them. We have so much erectile tissue, Lily. Have as much, if not more.
Do I have that
tissue?
Do I have one of those, or two of those, or three?
Yep. Yeah, you've got two vestibular bulbs. Yeah. They're basically. Can we talk about this on YouTube?
Yes. Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, it was just anatomy. Okay.
Well,
so
just
female anatomy.
be settled. Yeah, be careful. Yeah.
Vestibular bulbs are like little bulbs of erectile tissue that are in your outer labia, sort of sitting in the fatness of your outer labia. That's what makes the labia fat when they develop. Bulbs get blood.
They fill with blood, and typically for like
that just illustrates
for
the
folks
point.
who are trying to, if you're trying to stimulate a pussy, like it's gonna take to 45 minutes for like a pussy to become fully engorged with blood at times. So like you want to be able to give it enough time to actually get because you can't just like jerk it off like you actually have to like spend time increasing blood flow, and like most people like don't even bother to like spend 2 minutes down there like prior to penetration. So it's like, what would it mean to spend 45 minutes just in like helping increase blood flow, and like how might you do that, and what might you like, and just I think a hard thing for people to realize, but it is that erectile tissue. It's like we're literally getting a hard on inside, but it takes longer because it's inside.
It just takes longer to get all of the what are they called? Like open the vascular system. I don't know. It's like we need to be. I think the female body needs to super relaxed for that process to start as well, or not, but relaxed and feeling safe for that process to start. And then there's the 45 minutes before there's enough arousal.
And then relaxing the muscles to not be tensing. Because a lot of the pain in sex is when like people's muscles are tensing because they're not safe and relaxed. And so it's relaxing muscles, increasing blood flow, which like all are more like patient, oftentimes more slow process. I mean, you can get to it in kinky ways too. Oftentimes better low intention ways, which is it takes like a lot of like self-awareness and patience on the part of a dude to be like, it's not working. Why isn't it the thing like? Why isn't the engine starting? It's like, no, this is not one of those things. This is
I'm pressing all the buttons, but it's not working.
Yeah, instead it's like you have to like be with it and be like on the journey together.
Sorry, can I ask a question? Because I know nothing. I'm learning lots right now. I didn't even know I had those vestibular thingy jobs at all. Are they like our body? Sorry. Are they like our bodyguards in a way that keeps us like, they're like, okay, you're not coming in unless you do the password. And then we had to kind of get all warmed up and all that kind of for them to relax and become kind of pliable, or like...
you could say that.
Am I understanding this correctly, or is that how it works?
I think so.
They're literally,
when
they're literally like filling with blood, so they're just...
Yeah. Then that would also mean that when your penetration starts, it's going to feel more enjoyable. That's one thing to start with.
For the guy as well as for the girl. But everybody. And another thing is that if they're... engorged basically, the way I understand it... So if they're not engorged, it means it's painful for both parties, because they become like hard and not soft and pliable and engorged.
I've got
is that
question.
how it works?
Well,
I think
they're soft like before. They're just not as like sensitive.
Yeah,
but like the tightness is more the muscles.
Right. No, that's okay. When you speak about saying they have pain during sex, I don't really relate to that. Like, I'm not sure what you mean by that. I wouldn't say that I have pain. But is that because someone's not aroused enough, or they're uptight? Is it because of actual physical? I mean, I'm guessing it's lots of different things.
Yeah,
but,
a huge proportion of women, I would say maybe 28% of women that I talk to have pain during sex at some point, and the official like term is genital pelvic pain, which used to be vulvodynia and preunia, but they've combined the terms now, and really it can be just like pain at penetration, it can be pain in, and there's times where like there's really something wrong with the nerve endings where there's like super sensitivity to any kind of like touch or penetration, but there's other times where it's pain that's reacting to tension, pain that's reacting to trauma, where like they've had bad things happen, and so their pelvic is sore, their vagina is so tight from like trying to self-protect, and so it can be both. A lot of like the exercises to like help with pelvic pain and with any kind of genital pain is related to relaxing, related to practicing easing like small items inside, like helping relax the muscles, massage, noticing where exactly the pain is, like how to explore, it's near my clit, or it's my labia, or it's further inside, and being able to pinpoint it exactly, a big part of it. And just giving yourself patience to like understand, but the biggest thing, trying to figure it out, means you're relaxed and you're with safe, trusting people that aren't just like shoving things, because that's going to always go badly.
Things in. That just sounds so wrong to me. Shoving things.
But it just happens all the time where like you're just
not
like,
a
they're like,
shopping
why
bag.
are we... But like there's just there's this normative understanding of like that any kind of sexuality is you just like penetrate and that's all there is. And the first thing I work on with couples usually is like, how do you redefine what sex is? It's not penetration. It's a million other things potentially in addition to penetration, but it's not penetrating partially why virginity is a myth. We only count penetration as sex, like we're missing out on all of the other huge array of other kinds of sex and pleasure that people have that isn't about.
Yeah. And that does not feel good unless you've done all the previous necessary steps. If it's just penetration, it's like that's rape, basically. You know, I'm not saying, wait. Let me rephrase that. What it means is that you need to work through it, all that, become pleasurable, because then if it's not, it would be as painful as if somebody was forcing themselves. Like, you know, it wouldn't be enjoyable. Yeah. Oh, God, I think I could walk myself in a corner. Scratch what I said. I want you. Breakfast Lily's trouble.
I hear you, Lily. And there's times where, like, there's times I think the assumption is that if someone's really turned on, they're going to automatically be wet and ready, and like that's not really. So I think it's partly that like someone can be turned on and they still need more preparation and practice and like be able to have more openness to like relax and lubricate. So I think it's more complex, and like you never want to deduce like you're not doing a good job or they don't like you because you're not lubricated and ready. Like you want to always willing to like sometimes use lube, sometimes voice, sometimes slower, sometimes like in it does not attribute it to something bad about you, when like it usually just means their body's giving you a sign or a cue that they need something else, not that you're not doing your job.
Can I say, I think that sometimes, you know, a lot of guys worry that they're not doing the right movements or the right sort of things. But sometimes it's not related to doing the right movements. It's about emotional, you know? Because like you say, if someone is feeling vulnerable, I get very emotional. I cannot, you know, be with someone that I don't trust. So that takes a long time for me to kind of relax and become a bit more trusting.
Right.
And I think that's related to that, you know. So guys, don't think that it's just, I'm not going fast enough, I'm not pressing the right buttons, or I'm not going the right place. Maybe it's just a cuddle, a sense of like, come here, I've got you. Emotionally, I've got you. And then that will make us relax and open up. Literally.
That's a big too.
And for me, a big factor is what they're speaking. You know, like how they're speaking. Like I get quite a big part of my arousal, my mental imagination, and what's happening in my mind. And so it's also, I just really love it when they can really click into also knowing how to talk to me. That has a big part in helping me relax and comfortable in the space. And that's not easy. Yeah. I mean, some people feel a bit self-conscious about it, but I just say to people, look, give it a go. Like, just try. You know, you get a bit better by trying and sort of seeing the response from your partner. Because I know some people say, I feel just super awkward when I talk or when I bring up things. Yeah, practice. Like, just
and I think it's got to be something that both parties or people that are involved in the act are comfortable with, you know. Sometimes, you know, I know that some girls like to be, they like adjectives used on them. That for me, I just don't like them. I find them a bit of a turnoff. But it doesn't mean that the other girl will
what's an adjective you don't
like that, you know?
An adjective.
Yeah. Give us an example.
What's one that you don't like?
I don't. When they call me whore, for example, or slut, I don't like those words at all.
Certain names you don't like.
Yeah, certain names, certain adjectives. I'd rather you say, I mean, I know maybe it's a bit childish, but for me, like maybe you're a bad girl or you're a good girl, like with double meaning. I'd rather have those softer undertones that mean the same thing, maybe. But those, because they tend to be used as slurs or insults. But some girls like it, you know, and so I don't see it as something wrong. I'm not.
You're just not a humiliation driven.
I'm the opposite. Yeah, I want to be treasured, and some girls actually prefer the other way, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that. You know, it's preferences. I don't like horror movies. Yeah, you know, some people like horror movies. I don't. I like it. Yes, I like to be a baby girl, you know, that sort of sweet talk. That's sort of I feel good with that.
Good.
Are you saying that you're saying that it is an element of humiliation that I enjoy being called a slut?
I've got slut here and princess here.
No, I think it means something different for you. You know, maybe for you it doesn't mean
sluts and princesses.
But you know, to you, it probably means something else. It makes you sort of, you're confident, you're in control, you know who you want. You know, it just means different things to different people. I think I don't.
I like the word.
I don't.
I like the word slut.
What do you?
I like the word slut too, but when I use it, I use it as like that you're so proud that I'm so sexually like open and awakened and excited that you're like, oh, you're just such a good slut. Like you just like want my dick so much, or you just want to play so much, or you just want like you're so eager and like and engaged and like you just like love it so much. And I like being that way, and I like people seeing that about me, that like, oh, like I'm really like I just made you this beautiful ice cream sundae and you're just gonna like dive your whole face into it and devour it. Like that's what like slut is to me.
Yeah, like really engaged.
You know what?
Like you're present, fully in the space and hungry, like hungry to please and like give it to me, give it to me. Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
And I think it depends also who says it. Like if with friends, and one of you says, "Oh, you're such a slut," like in a funny sort of quirky way, I won't be offended with that. I would be like, depending on the moment. But if a guy, because I feel like sometimes, I do find guys a little bit more of a. I'm scared of them basically because I'm very short, very small in real life. So I don't like those aggressiveness because I don't feel safe. But with a girl,
that makes sense.
I'm cool. You can call me whatever you want. As long as it's in a loving way.
It should be consensual, right? Yeah, you should still check in before you. Yes, check in to see if they like the words before you use them. Like that's the general rule.
So and apart from that, what's an endearment that you like in the bedroom or out of the bedroom?
Yeah, I like slut. I like good girl and bad girl too. Sometimes I like I sometimes like I don't like whore very much because I think it's demeaning towards sex workers. So I tend to not use the word whore. I like toy or pet or sex doll.
I like that.
Or robots like sex bot.
Sex bot. Okay, cool.
Ooh, okay, I've never heard that one before. That's very good.
Sex
I like
pot.
that.
Well, you've got a sex pot.
Sex bot. Sex bot. Like I had what I would like role play being a robot.
Yeah, that's
I wonder what guys like. I wonder what guys would like to be called. Like sometimes I have used the term sexylicious, to someone that I really thought was really sexy. And he just smelled delicious. That. So I was like, you're so sexylicious because he was like, yummy. So I wonder if they like that or they find it offensive or demeaning. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think,
if you're watching and you're able to comment.
Yes.
Tell us what words you like. Yeah. I think a lot of in the kink scene, it's a lot of like sir and master and sir, master, daddy, that kind of stuff.
So what if they're in the sub
Those are all kind of power. Yeah, those are all kind of power driven. I mean, I think for like my male subs, I'll sometimes call like pet or toy, or I like the similar or like my I had a man once call me a cum dumpster. So I sometimes like to call men that now as a like reframe of like feminism. I like to be like, oh, now you're my cum dumpster. I'm gonna swear on your face, like I take back some power. Or like my my dog bowl. Like if I'm like doing like a scene where there's like urine or squirt involved, I'm like, you're on the floor and you're like in like my cum towel. Depends how humiliating the scene is.
Flipping it around. Yeah, got it. Well, and then also with the strap on, I can do that flip as well. With the strap on, it's like, now you're going to take my cum, you're going to be my little slut, my toy.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's often submissive males.
Or like good boy, like good boy, like good. They like a lot of good boy, like bad boy. Yeah, that's good another. Boy.
I find a lot of guys don't like to be called boy. Yeah.
It's more the subs that do it.
You're a good boy. It's like, I'm a man.
Yeah, I wonder.
I find that if they are young, they don't like it. Yeah, but if they're older, they don't mind.
Do they actually like being called boy? I don't know. I use it a lot. I've never really checked.
I think
I like it.
If they're like,
I think in the sub role, I
don't know, 40 up, they might be okay with it because they're like, oh yeah, I'm young, kind of maybe, oh yes, I can be your boy, I don't know. Yeah. But yeah, I find a lot of guys don't really like, what do you mean, a boy? I'm a man. When I say, you're my toy boy. It's like, what do you mean? I'm a man.
Yeah.
I like toy boys. I love toy
man-mates.
Yes. No, that's a good one.
Man-mate.
That's a good
man-mate.
What? Man meat.
Man meat.
Oh.
Yeah, for
Like
like
meat,
more like
like eat.
masculine alphas. Man meat. Mm-hmm.
Yes. Ah. Hey, give me some man meat.
Well, this like thirst trap
Mm.
is one that I hear a lot on social media.
Yeah.
Thirst trap. I can't even say it, but yeah.
Speaking of social media, do you mind if we transition to this other topic? Are we okay with this?
Sure.
I've been trying to figure out like what my social media presence is going to be in my like life changing in the last year or two, and like trying to figure out like what it means, like us rebranding our name to Hotties in VR. We're talking about how do we rebrand? How do we create something that's going to be attractive to a lot of people, but also be true to who we are? And I think that's the thing I keep getting stuck with, which is like, what's going to make people interested and curious and maybe want to pay for things because I don't want to be poor. I need to eat and pay for more sex toys. But also like be authentic to me and always like, I never like, okay, so context of the story. I need to buy sex toys. That's my priority. No, and they're expensive. They're like fucking,
oh my God,
you know, $300 for my favorite toys. $300. Okay, but I had this like
out of it.
I had this dude.
I had this dude who was like with that.
I know, yeah, the full body tracking too. But I had this dude who was a like sugar daddy kind of to me, and he's like a business guy. He owned a bunch of businesses. He was doing some business coaching for me, and he's like, what you need is a separate brand for your professional life, and you shouldn't have all of this weird cyborg shit in there, and you shouldn't have all of your creative stuff. That should be something else, and have all your business like where you want to make money be this separate professional, very refined brand. And I was like, fuck that. Like I hated that advice, that feedback. I mean, I get where he's coming from, but also I was like, that's not me, and I don't want to labor in capitalism to sell something that's not me, especially if I'm the thing. If I'm the commodity, I want to stay true to myself, and people actually like want to engage with my craziness and my chaos and my intelligence and my body, not like some fake like. There's like. Like, I can't even imagine me wearing like a 3-piece suit, like trying to look like a businesswoman. Like, that's just like not what I do. So
is that what he was saying?
Yeah, that I needed like a professional,
like having a profile
LinkedIn page
that
was like
LinkedIn style.
Yeah, like a very professional like sex therapist. And I do
face.
this really professional work, and like, and I'm like, no, that's not who I am. That's not what I do. I just like.
It's not what you want to do.
But I think that it's yeah, but it's that branding conversation. Like, how do we engage in capitalism authentically? When capitalism itself is exploitation, like it's a system that's meant to like make the rich richer and like keep the rest of us down. So it's not really meant for authenticity, but like I still want to somehow figure out how to be in it in that way.
Can I say something? My opinion on this, I think, is because a lot of people, the people that wear suits and all that sort of stuff and running companies, they are marketing a product that is not them. Right. You are a creative person, so you're more like in the category of a writer, for example. A writer, they write about what they know. That's when their books are successful. If they write something that they really know nothing about, even writers that do like autobiographies or biographies of other people, they research their subject, okay? So you are the product. So you cannot go around looking with a business suit and have a personal life kind of profile, business profile, and then, another one because you are the product, your creativity is the product. So I totally agree with you that although maybe his advice was good for another person, not necessarily for you, because maybe he's not a creative, he's not dealing with creative stuff. You're more like, as a writer kind of thing, as a film producer or a script writer, or an actor. That's another example. Actors don't really have like a personal life. Not really. I mean, even in their personal life, they're still them because they are the product. Totally. So you don't see an actor, marketing themselves as, with the business. It's always them. The more authentic, the better they are. Marketing.
Totally. Like look where we are right now. Like this is me. like this is real. Like this is
This is real. Yeah. And we're sitting here at the archipelago, with the beautiful water all around us. We're on an island actually. Archipelago. Sitting on this rock here, and we have levitating are over there, and
And we've got
feel
those
so
beautiful
free.
We have
trees. We have a
volunteers.
spaceship behind us.
We've got this freedom.
You know, I love
freedom
that.
to.
This is my homeworld. Because I love the symbolic spaceship that has crashed over there. So it could be like a world, an alien world that's virgin and unexplored. And a spaceship came in here with humanoids, avatar humanoids like us, Hotties. And we've landed on this planet and make it hot.
Oh, yes.
And make it beautiful. Yeah.
Yes, that's a great story.
Definitely.
That's the backstory of Hotties in VR. We've come from
And today
another
we all
planet. And we
all have
Yes,
ears
we're very happy with the
too.
planet.
And education and like community.
Authenticity.
And we are come here to bring that authentic. So yes, getting back to what you're saying, Soleil, authenticity in your creation, in your creative expression, and how, if it can it fit into that mainstream system? I mean, I guess there's things like sponsorship. If you can find people that can really relate to what it is you're offering, but I don't know a lot about that. Often sponsorship may have to be more commercial, or they have to do what they want. But so is it about packaging something that you do love doing, and working and making it a product? I don't know.
Well, if anyone's
It
watching
depends
and
how
has
far you want to
feedback,
go with
I would
it.
love it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mostly just want to make weird, sexy videos and talk about
weird, sexy videos. Yeah, well, let's do that. We'll go when we move to Blue Twitch. That's going to be what we want to explore is new sexy videos. Yeah, and engaging with people would be great through streams or in VRChat. Like engaging with people.
And everything is
circles.
educational. Yeah.
Yeah.
I want everyone to have like a better, more expansive life.
I'd love to see you doing like group
I think
circles,
it should be.
like talking about things.
Yeah, like the old times when the construct of normal school, whether you have to be a 95 or 93 or whatever the school was, because that just kills individuality and creativity and all that. So it should be done like the way it used to be done many years ago, where everybody would come into a sort of plaza type of space, and all the big smart how you call those, philosophers and scientists will be mingling, scholars will be mingling with everybody else that was interested. So if we've got someone who loves mathematics, they go and find the expert and, hey, tell me about it. So do you learn from the actual expert? But if you don't really like that, you want to rather paint, you want to find somebody like Leonardo da Vinci and learn to. I think that's how it should be, because normal school sometimes can make you like compete with people where your aptitudes or your talents aren't the same, so you're not really learning much, and it's making you feel inadequate. So that's what Hotties in VR is. We are got a planet where we're going to be embracing education in a self-regulating manner, meaning what do you want to learn? You ask the questions. You don't want to know about that, we'll have other topics that you will probably want to know. It doesn't matter who you are, we will accept you the way you are, just the way you want to be. As long as you're not hurting anybody else and you're not imposing yourself on anybody else's opinions, you are very welcome to our new planet. That's why we left our planet, because it was shit. We hated it. Everybody was fighting with everybody, and it was wars, and there was like bullshit. So we're making a new world.
And we're gonna have guests that talk about other things. We're definitely not the expert. We're not the experts in everything. So we'll have beautiful guests that will come and help us talk about things too.
Yes, exactly. Yes,
I look forward to that. Because
that would be so good.
In areas
have
that
people
we don't
know what they're talking about.
Anything about. Yeah, like AI or like what is the next step in robotics, or like how can we start to get a little bit more technological in here. Like haptic suits are out there, but I speak to very few people who have them. So what's the barrier at the moment? Is it that they're too expensive? I haven't looked at it though, to be honest, Soleil. Like, is it that I'm waiting? Are people waiting a little bit longer for it to get better?
I think.
Well, there's the body trackers.
I think what's happening with
the trackers exist, but they're so expensive.
Well, the thing is that with the haptic suits, because there's not enough market for them, it's a little bit like when Elon Musk started his Tesla cars. He had to create a really, really expensive one that only very, very few can buy, because then that money went to actually mass produce something that is a bit more affordable for everybody. So they are coming, but unfortunately, it's taking a bit of time. We've got to keep talking about it. We have to keep asking for it and make, inspire people to invent new versions of it. But yeah, that would be so good.
I tried the Sony body trackers at this VR conference, and the Sony body trackers are only like $400, but they were only available in Japan for I don't know if they're available now. And they're pretty good for being body trackers. So I think there's progress being made in the tracking department. Yeah, and the Pocky también, but sorry, throwing in Spanish, but but it's still that's still a lot of money. $400 to see my whole body move in VR is a lot of money to you're already investing maybe $500 at a Quest 3, so it's hard to
You know what?
It's prohibitory.
We should get someone who knows about this quite a lot and have them as a guest. I'm gonna find someone. I know someone that knows a lot about this, and we can talk about it.
Okay. Okay, but there's got to be a way that we can get a company to give us the shit. I mean, that's what we want. Give us the stuff, and we test it, and we review it, and we talk about it on our amazing Hotties in VR stream. I guess that's an idea. That's what some people do. And that's Soleil. There are some people that build their brand here on YouTube. Right, yes, and then there's the whole thing about pushing for monetization on YouTube or having enough of a following that a company will want to give us a product because they're going to talk about it. Now, I'm not sure if I want to do that. Let's talk about being authentic. If I check in with my body, do I actually want to do that? It would be okay because in the end, I'm giving a review, and the review will be authentic. It's shit,
it'll be
or
genuine
it's not good, or it's this is good. Totally. It'll be genuine, I guess. I mean, a sponsor.
Yeah, definitely. And it's in an area where we're not going to be guessing. We're actually playing the game. We're going to be actually using it here and see what the limitations are and what the advantages are. Things like, the controllers. I know for dancers, because I've been interviewing a lot of dancers recently, when they do it, they have to put the controllers on the wrists so they don't break them. But then their hands look a bit weird when they're dancing. Especially guys that they do the handstands and all that sort of stuff. I keep thinking, why can't they not come up with a way of making those sort of tracker thingies with gloves? So the trackers are at the back of the hand instead. And that way when they do the handstands and all that, it's all protected. There has to be someone who's actually, people that create these items, they should come and play the game. They should come and try it here. So that way they can invent something that's going to work for the people that are actually using it. Yeah. Not everything is about outspace or metaverse, business, and, desks and keyboards. There's more to that. We can be very creative here. We can do paintings, we can do dancing, we can do all kinds of things.
Well, it is as you mentioned last time that a lot of the VR community is gaming right now, and there's so many gaming applications for full body tracking. Fighting games and racing games, and so much more interactive ability. If you're gonna be hunting down some zombies, how much better it is when you can track your whole body in it.
Oh, that would be terrified. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I'm just really curious I'm curious to explore what type of sensations that is possible with the haptic suit. I watched Ready Player Me the other day again, and was there's that scene. Yeah, what is it? Ready Player One.
Ready Player One.
And where the scene where
there
they're
is
flying
a book.
Flying around. She touches him and says, "Did you come prepared?" And he's like, and then glows all over his body, and he's like, "Yeah, he was kitted up, man. He had it all going, so he was ready." And then she flies around and moves underneath through his legs and under his crutch, and he's going.
So but then feel it.
He got shot with they were getting chased and whatever, and then it looked like just a red glow. But I'm curious, what would that feel like? Would it feel like pain? Would it feel like pressure?
Yeah,
would it feel like electricity?
Totally.
Yeah, it is
How do they do it? Electricity?
Because there is one that they use for shooting games.
Heat.
And when they shoot you, you feel it's a sharp pain. I know someone that
How do they
had one.
lift the
I'm going to
pain?
see if I can find him, and we can maybe, have a word with him.
I'm
We
just
should do a
thinking.
little
I'm thinking I'm
panel.
just going to have to get one soon. I'm going to have to get one soon. I
Yeah.
think that's all there is to it. I have to
Or see if we can
I'll get-
borrow one. We don't necessarily have to
do some
buy one, but like
research.
borrow it or something. Definitely, that would
The
be
producer
really
had a
True.
good.
comment for it.
True.
Producer had a comment for us. Producer had a comment.
Yeah.
Is your
Okay.
mic
So our
on?
producer said,
Did we
our
hear?
producer says that there's a
what he
suit called,
said?
there's a company called OWO.
Okay.
The producer said that there's a company called OWO that produces an electric stimulation that is that suit. Yeah, that sounds pretty crazy. But
Yeah,
And heat
I mean
as well.
they have those elliptical
guessing.
walking machines. Have you seen those
Yeah.
as well? You know how in here if you've got a very small play space and you're playing a game where you're having to run or something like that, you've got this elliptical type of walking machine. It's just like the exercise
cool.
machines, but they're circular. And you wear a sort of harness and everything. And you're slightly sort of floating a little bit. So when you're walking on this circular platform, it actually mimics your walking on your avatar, and you get really
That's so
immersed
cool.
into it, and you're actually physically walking, and you can go in any direction. And that's what they call it elliptical, because they're round, they're circular. They're really cool. I've seen guys in YouTube using them.
It's
They're very
amazing. I'd like
expensive.
to watch that too.
Yeah, I saw someone with that, like, jumped into that thing with a bar around it, harness, and you can just, like,
Okay.
fall.
You know what we need
Yeah.
to do? Hotties, I think
What?
we need an assignment where we go and hang out in those VR gaming Reddit groups and like hit on some of the VR gaming boys to like have them come play with us.
Oh, yeah. Sounds like a great idea.
Come over to VRChat. Yes, and let's have some fun.
We know it's not
Show
as
us what you
exciting as your
got.
game, but like tell us about your tools and toys, and like we'll
Yes,
have some surprises for you.
definitely.
Yeah. Okay. So we need to organise a Hotties excursion then.
What sort of surprise?
Oh no, not an
Yeah.
excursion. Are you saying we just got to jump onto Reddit and
A
see if
Hottie-
we can
A collaboration.
Jump into...
That's what you're talking about. A
Yes.
collaboration.
Maybe
That's what we
maybe
need to
Reddit
do.
or Twitch.
We need to find the guy.
Reddit or Twitch.
We need
Yeah.
to find
Yeah.
someone who's
Yep.
already know about all that technology, the elliptical
Twitch.
walking machines, all that, and
Twitch,
do
yeah.
a
And
Get them as a
collaboration.
guest.
Yay!
Or get them as a guest is one thing we could do.
Totally.
They come
Well-
in on the show.
Yeah, but
And
if
maybe
it's a
they'd wanna teach
collaboration,
me.
it
Maybe they'd
means
wanna, like-
that their
They
stream
want to like help us.
shows the show as well as ours. It's the two channels showing the same thing. That's what a collaboration is. So yeah,
Right.
his followers, will be able to see what we've got to say, and then our followers will have to, see what he's got to say, and that's how it should be, an exchange of ideas in a communal
like
way.
this.
That's what I love collaborations, because photographers do that quite a lot. Videographers, we do that. We go somewhere and we collaborate, and we print the
Yeah.
pictures of the collaboration in each other's whether Instagram or
Yeah,
whatever,
that's good.
and it works.
Yes, we do need
It
to do
really
that.
does. It's the flow, of creativity
Okay, so
going.
if anyone watching knows any people we should collaborate with, let us know, and we will start doing some networking and see how we can build some relationships. Because we really we're good people to know in VR. We're cool, we're funny, we're sexy, and we're expanding our communities. And that's really, I think, my goal for the show is I want to build community and build a place where people feel safe to come and explore and be themselves and talk about things that are important to them without I think one thing I noticed, one problem with maybe reaching out to the tech bros and to the gamers, is that there's oftentimes a gender gap where there's not many women in it, and there's not really very open to femme presenting folks in that space, and there's a lot of negativity and kind of and I don't think that that's everybody. There's a lot of amazing gamers and tech bros out there who want to connect and do better, and so let's be a bridge to bring in the feminine into the beautiful things you're doing.
Because in the real world, the planet that we came from, that's what happened. Everybody's segregated into little groups of the gamers, the businessmen, the writers. Everybody got segregated into little spots, and nobody talked to each other. And that's what the planet was shit. So that's why our new planet is where everybody gets to learn about everybody. We all share knowledge, so our lives are fuller and nicer.
Yeah,
And
I really
sometimes
love
sexy time too.
a sexy time, but I really love the building a space where we can have build those bridges, as you were saying, they like to different communities, and so that's what we need to do. We need to actually be going out and joining other events as well, though, yeah, and sort of seeing what other people are doing in here. You know what I'm providing, I guess, is actually this weekend I have Tantric Whispers, which is a new series, and sort of providing a little bit of a space where people can learn about their energy body. And I don't, some of those gamers and tech bros would be a bit like, what the fuck is that all about? But it could be really interesting to see some people are interested in learning, on more of a spiritual level, or learning a little bit about themselves, like how they actually work. And so Tantric Whispers is around that, like learning about your chakras and how can you move your energy, and then a little breathwork meditation. So you can practice having like awareness inside, like what's happening inside me, and learning how to use my erotic energy to actually have more energy. Yeah.
Yeah, because the cross-transferring of technologies or not technologies, but like of interest and things that are very useful. It used to be a few years ago, footballers, American footballers, they were, one of the trainers was like, I need to find a way for them to be more supple, more well coordinated and all that. And you know what he discovered? Dancing. So he got a dance teacher to give them dancing lessons, and not just like cheerleading, actual dancing. And he improved their game so much, even though it's a very robust and very sort of powerful game. The fact that they were actually dancing moves and all that sort of thing made them a little bit more supple and be able to move in a way that kind of their opponents were like, what the fuck is going on? And it gave them that edge. And now it's actually part of their training. So
what, they're doing ballet doing a ballet move on the football field just to like put off the opponent.
Yes, like
little pirouette.
Jump in the air and do a little pirouette. And exactly, yeah. Or like get down with a funky tune and then just sort of deep down, and the guy was like, "Whoa, what's that? Where is he?" Every cross transfer of skills is only a good thing. It really is.
Totally. Yes, I mean, I found that when I learned a bit more about my energy body, because we have our physical body and we sort of know a bit about that. We have to feed it, otherwise we die. We don't learn much about our energy body and what that actually is. And so because we can't see it and we can't sort of measure it, it is this journey for me of realizing, if I know more about my energy body, I can communicate a little bit better. And I know it's hard to see that link, but that's what I found. When I have had more self-awareness of what am I feeling now? Can I identify what I'm feeling, and how do I do that?
Or at a really concrete. I love that, Venus. And like, or at a really concrete level, if the energy stuff is not your thing, like we just can help you learn better communication skills and better like listening skills and better like attunement. So like, you don't need to call it energy, but you can just call it like listening and attunement. Partners, and like every man I've ever known, whether it was a sex client or a therapy client or just a friend, like wants to get better at sex and relationships, wants to get better at communication, wants to get better at connection, and like that's the thing that we're all really good at, and we have a lot of networks of people who are really good at it. So I think there's a lot of like skill share that could go really far in terms of community building. That let us help you improve your relationships, and you help us with our tech stuff, and like the whole world gets better as a result.
Yes, that is the aim of Hotties in VR, is to make a better world. Like you said, we've come here.
It's a little
communication,
go on.
Inclusiveness, safety, fun, and as much sex and pleasure as you can have.
And tech skills
look at it this way.
Oh, and yes.
Look at it this way as well. Exactly. You know what it is? It's a really nice community party where everybody brings a dish to the party, so we can all share and taste a little bit of everybody's skills and cooking. Well, cooking skills. Yeah, we all share. We all learn, and we'll get satisfied minds and enriched lives. Welcome to Hotties in VR!
We've just arrived off the spaceship. See it in the back there.
Yeah, we crashed. We crashed on purpose because we don't want to go back to the previous world.
I really felt that. I went to the AWE I went to the AWE Expo, the Augmented Real World Expo this year, and like it was so great. And my friend Nathan helps put it on, and it was such a great opportunity because I really felt like I was one of the few people dressed as like an anime princess, like full like gear at this conference with like a lot of like techie people, but like I felt really welcomed and accepted, and there was this like Skillshare that really happened there in that space that I felt like that was one of the few spaces I've been in where I felt really open to like, hey, come try this headset, or here, come learn this new technology thing, or hey, what do you have to offer in terms of the work that you're doing? And I met some really great people. Like I met Don Allen, and Don Allen's doing some really amazing work in VR. But yeah, I think there's like I see some of this happening already in other spaces, and I would love to like us be another hub for that kind of Skillshare and like trading of building community in a really like real sense that we can reach out to each other, be like, hey, can you help me with this thing? And can my friend Kevin took me to the AWE, and he's in Thailand right now, like doing live VR animation events in like restaurants and cafes in Thailand, where like they sit and they'll like do a live animation for people to like watch, and it's so cool to see these like this growing field of like art and beauty and like connection happening.
Oh yes.
So hang on, what are they doing?
It's only gonna get better.
Kevin and his friend, like they meet in a cafe and then they paint together and they do a live animation, and people can see it on the screens. They're like making these like 3D like VR sculptured like animations, like an animal or a big cat live in VR, painting for an audience, and then like interacting with it and animating it in VR.
Showing how it's done.
Like this, they're in VR playing with all these objects and painting and creating, and it's being live streamed
and doing it together.
The cafe. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, and people in the cafe can see it, and you can watch.
They are in the
also
cafe too, are they?
They're in the cafe
actually
live.
Physically in the cafe with their headsets, so people can see them using their headsets, and how that action of putting that headset on transfer them onto another world, and they see it.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
So that way people can make the connection. Because that's the problem. A lot of people see these things online and they're like, oh, that's very, very nice, but like have no idea how it's. But if you have somebody next to you with just a little piece of equipment on their eyes, and all of a sudden you see that on the screen they're actually transported to another world, it starts to make sense. Like, oh, I could do that.
I agree.
Oh, that's not that difficult. Oh, it's not that complicated.
It's so cool.
It makes it more accessible.
They're making such cool things.
Great story. Like, that's just so good to hear that there's, I think it, like you said, it's an important mix of the augmented reality is what they're talking about as well, right? First, to get more people into an augmented reality headset, which means it's not as immersive. You're not just fully in VR. Now, I don't get that, but maybe that works for a certain group of people. I don't know who.
Augmented reality is a little bit more easily accessible because you can use your phone. You don't actually have to have the headset. It's kind of the other way around.
Yeah, like filters
augmented reality is where virtual reality goes into the real world. Okay, so you're not actually on your headset. Right. You're actually on your phone. You remember that game Pokemon Go, where people were like looking for Pokemon all over the streets? That's augmented reality. So you actually lift your phone up, and then you see, oh, there's a Pokemon there, but you move your phone and it's not there. It's actually in virtual reality, but in the same space. It's a digital thing in your real world, and it's so cool. It's the beginning of it. It's kind of the other way around.
Okay.
And then you need to get in with the Pokemons. Come over with the Pokemon.
I think Soleil and Lily, we need to find some conferences. You know, we need to do a little bit of research around finding some VR conferences or VR competitions or things that we can get involved in.
Most of them are in America, though.
In VR,
are you going to present at the immersive? Are you going to present at the ones
I don't know. I don't think I've heard from them. I would need to maybe try and contact someone.
I heard back about just attending, but it's like I have some clients during that day, so I'm not sure I can attend. But I heard back about attending, so I can give you the information once I get it. But it looks like they have some really good speakers. A lot of it's more business oriented, so I don't know if it's like going to be as up our alley. But the immersive experience.
You know what? It would be good to see anyway.
I think
that, what they're looking
at artists. There's also some artists there, 3D artists and immersive specialists.
Right.
I think what we offer can be we can do something extremely PG and something that does fit into that. It's like, it could be communication skills or it could be just learning how to interact in VR. I mean, I think there's a lot that we can provide in a conference environment that even if it is business focused, building network, building the funner sides of what we talk about, like how role play is, for example, how in VR you can learn quicker.
You can take care of the sort of technical stuff, all the sort of training and the emotional side of the, all those stuff that you know about, and I'll take care of showing them how to do cuddle puddles because those are important.
Like this is a
there
good
you
balance.
go. Excellent. That sounds great. Yep. Is there a lot to learn, Lily, to have a cuddle puddle?
Well, yes. You cannot be freaky,
workshop.
You cannot be disrespectful, and you cannot be weird. You need to be accepting, and it's all about love and supporting people's emotions.
And you need
it's
go-go
about,
loco.
Relaxing. Not necessarily. Well, it helps. But if you don't have go-go loco, it doesn't matter. We'll make do. We'll find a way. Cuddle puddles.
Still cuddle.
Emotionally supporting you. Emotionally, when you need a cuddle, when you need to be sort of comforted, or when you're sleepy, and especially when you need comforting, you want human closeness and feel safe. We'll cuddle you. Cuddles in VR are amazing. I don't know. It's just, it sounds so simple. It really is. But honestly, on a serious note, cuddles in VR are amazing. And if you have never had a cuddle in VR, you really, really need to experience it because it's a completely alien emotion that is just so amazing. It really is.
I think it's true in real life too. Like I have a friend who's a professional cuddleist, and he does cuddle parties and training, and it's completely non-sexual, learning platonic touch and learning consent and learning how to be close and emotionally sensitive. Yeah, it's a good important skill.
The problem with cuddle puddles in real life, and I agree with you, but that has to be kind of the next level. The problem with cuddle puddles in real life is that because it's your real skin, the intensity of emotion is a lot stronger. So it's not just it's your body that's feeling it too, and that can be a little bit overwhelming for some people. Cuddles in VR are not physical; they're all emotional. They're all in your mind. It's all about your energy. So that's why they're a little easier to digest in a way. So it's like your baby food to get started. Have cuddle, virtual cuddles. And then it's like your baby food. It gets you going into how to share emotions and your feelings. And then eventually...
hormones.
Exactly. And then you can move on onto virtual cuddles and in real cuddles in real life. Because then by that time, emotionally, you're prepared to handle that.
Maybe we host some Hotties in VR cuddle puddles sometimes. Maybe that's one of our other events.
Yeah.
I like this.
I like this idea because I actually haven't. I would like to learn what you mentioned there. Actually, like the guidelines and then how to. I imagine that it's stimulating the similar hormones as in real life. Yeah, because we're being close together, relaxing, imagining you touching me, and what is it? Oxytocin. And some the bonding hormone would be produced, and what is the other ones that make us feel good? Serotonin.
I can see if my friend can come in. Maybe he can be a guest too. My professional cuddle friend can come.
Well, that would be good. Yes. That would be awesome. Yes, definitely.
Okay, and then we have a cuddle party at another time or after that.
Yeah, that'd be nice to have him give us the guidelines and talk about it. Yeah, I don't know if he has a headset, so I'll have to ask. But yeah, that could be.
Mm-hmm. Remember that they could come in 2D if they have a Windows computer. Yeah?
Okay.
They still have to be able to install Steam though. So it needs to be a computer, but always come in on 2D.
Yeah,
that would be fine.
They can come in as a PC with a PC avatar.
As a pancake.
We can procure one for them that has Gogo Loco, so they can sit nicely in their PC avatar and they're able to actually talk with us. That would be good. Yeah, so don't feel like if you happen to come across this podcast and you want to be part of this show, and you want to be part of it, but you don't have a headset, we can actually, organize something with a PC. There's ways to do it. Yeah, definitely.
Put that on the list. So put that topic on our list of cuddle party and professional cuddle teacher. And we're going to wrap up for today. So I think
thank you all.
The next week we may or may not have a guest. We'll see, but we're going to start working towards having a guest
And we'll have Serendipity
sharing.
back next week. He wasn't able to join us today. So shout out to Serendipity. I hope you're doing okay. She's got a surprise for us for next week. So she'll be here.
Yeah, can't wait to see her, Abby. Yeah.
Yeah, she's got a new Abby. I'm so excited.
Thank you all for joining us.
See you
I'm Gotta
next week.
Soleil, Cyborg Dreams with a Z if you're looking for it on all the platforms.
Yes.
Lilybit VR.
Lilybit VR, Hotties in VR we are. And we also have Serendipity Sky who jumps in with us. And want to say thank you to our producer,
And big shout
Papa.
out to Big
Yay.
Papa, yes.
Thanks, Papa.
So I'll see you this weekend, Saturday night.